to another exciting edition of the Premier League Zone. My name is Anthony Ajulu, and this is your number one family radio station, Inspiration FM. It's a Friday, and you know it's our preview day. We're looking ahead to all the action coming up this weekend in the Premier League, actually. There are matches in the Premier League and there are matches in the FA Cup as well. It's the FA Cup quarter-final. Beyond all of that as well, we'll be journeying back to last night to look at all the action from the Europa League and the Conference League. Arsenal crashed out of the Europa League. Manchester United progressed, while West Ham also progressed in the UEFA Europa Conference League. We also have some big news on the show this morning, because something we talked about yesterday has finally happened. The sacking of Patrick Vieira. We talked about it. We had a very lengthy conversation about this yesterday, and early this morning we just heard the gist that he has been fired. So we're talking about everything surrounding that particular decision from Crystal Palace on the show today. As always, I'm not alone in the studio. Dion Keshi is here. Stephen Imediegu is here as well. Guys, how are you doing this morning? Stephen, how are you doing this morning? Feeling all right?
I'm feeling all right. Just I'm terribly, as it's like to say in the UK, I'm terribly gutted by the news about Patrick Vieira sacking.
I'm still a fan of Patrick Vieira, actually. So, you know, you do be like that sometimes, like they say. Dion, how are you doing?
I'm good. Fine, fantastic.
This guy is very annoying, and he's because he's too proud. He's too proud.
It's the reason why he's been getting humbled a lot lately. Casemiro's red card, the 7
anyway,
I even thought you were referring to some things internally.
let's get into some of the gist we have today. Let's start with the news about Patrick Vieira. I think that's the big news from this morning. And yesterday when we talked about it, my issue was not that whether he deserved to be fired or not. My issue was, what are Crystal Palace's ambitions this season? Is he meeting it? Because they are 12th on the table currently. Yes, the results have not been good recently, but they are 12th on the table. Are they trying to push for Europe? Is that what they want to do? Have they backed the manager enough and all of that? But the bottom line is, he has been sacked after a 12-match winless run. Your general thoughts on this very quickly?
Yeah, very, very quickly, because I mentioned yesterday that his job could be in jeopardy, and it was just a weird case of deja vu to see that he actually got the boot. To be honest, he finished last season. He led the team to finish last season when he was brought in, and they finished 12th, the same position they're in right now. But I think it's not just in the position; it's the circumstances surrounding where they are. We've seen a lot more competition in the EPL than we've seen in recent times, to be honest. But not only are they 12th, they are 3 points above the drop zone, because the guys at the bottom, the likes of Bournemouth, Southampton, they're also grinding out results in their own weird little way.
Yep.
So any potential slip up right now, if they lose again and either of the guys down there, Bournemouth and the likes, get a win, they'll be level on points, and they could easily be dragged into the relegation waters. Prior to the loss, the 1-0 defeats to Brighton, they played 3 consecutive matches where they failed to muster a single shot on target. Do you know how appalling that is for a team that decided to pride themselves in being an attacking side when he came into the club last season? So the signs were there, the writings of the wall were there.
To be fair, they were not an attacking side when he joined them.
They
were just getting over Roy Hodgson
and the
defensive style of play. He brought some really exciting, forward-thinking players, changed the way they play. They lose good going forward. Brought in the likes of Michael Olise, Ebere These guys could play. They had technique, they had skills, and all of that. But that's not where I'm going with all of this, actually. The question I'm asking is, we go back to yesterday's question as well. What are Crystal Palace's ambitions for the season? Because that would inform the caliber of manager they get next. What are they looking to do going forward this season and then going forward? Are they trying to be a Brighton, for instance, a Newcastle, or are they trying to just be, what they are and be where they are?
I think the sacking of Patrick Vieira throws that question very, very wide open. And it seems to me at this point that Crystal Palace don't have an ambition.
I think they do.
No, I don't think so. I understand that Patrick Vieira has been on a bit of a losing run lately, but you don't. These trigger happy decisions that you make in football have a way of coming to bite you at the end of the day. I believe that one of the most clear examples is the trigger happy decision to hire David Moyes to replace a certain Alex Ferguson. Look at how that turned out. Sometimes what you need to do is stick with a system where, yes, things may not be looking rosy at the moment, but they will eventually perk up at some point. Patrick Vieira turned that team around. He brought some exciting talents. I do think that given some more time and reasonable support, he would have pushed them to a higher place. Probably one of the European, because there's so many European sports to look for.
We have a lot of things to get through on the show today, so we can't dwell on this too much.
So quickly, some corrections. Moyes was referred to by Sir Alex, so let's just leave that out of the way first. It wasn't a trigger-happy decision. Secondly, I would say this again. Every team in the EPL will tell you that they're gunning for any of the European qualification spots. Now, there's the Conference League, so even teams in 7th can actually go to the continent. But then again, Crystal Palace definitely want to play on the continent. Do they really have the quality? No. They thought they had a manager to do it because they have attacking football.
Quality in terms of playing personnel. Leave the manager out of it first. Do they have the quality?
Look at Brighton. Brighton are not the most expansive side with regards to quality. But they are well-oiled units.
Do they have the quality to actually this Crystal Palace team? Do they have the quality to challenge for Europe?
No. But I would add this: they have the quality to remain a mid-table side, probably,
which is why they are 12th.
They are 12th, but they can do better than that and also start getting wins.
Who says they could have gotten a win against Crystal Palace? No, let's move on.
Finally, just the weirdest part, because that team has been thrown into turmoil now because all the coaching staff have also left. The 3 guys under Patrick Vieira have left too. Anyway, so it's like a team without the shepherd.
Anyway, Stephen, let me come to you. We're going back to last night now. We'll see who they get eventually. We'll see if there will be a new manager bounce this weekend against Arsenal. We'll get to that in a bit. But let's go to it. Let's stick with Arsenal and talk about their game yesterday in the Europa League against Sporting CP. Again, over 2 legs. Personally, I thought Mikel Arteta made some poor calls in terms of personnel, maybe tactics, technique and all of that, and ultimately paid for it.
Yeah, he did. I would like to remind everyone, what I said yesterday was Arsenal have the opportunity to win this game and win something in Europe this season, but it will depend on whether or not Arteta makes the right calls with his team. And I don't think he did that. There was a lot of, let me help you, you are trying, let me help you. In my opinion, Jorginho is fantastic, but please, really, Jorginho, Mr. Nelson up front, are you kidding me? Gabriel Jesus just came back from injury. He's not that sharp yet, and then you throw him on. Arsenal played a game yesterday that they almost gave up on winning. So the way I see it, Arsenal, you shot yourself in the foot. Shout out to Mikel Arteta. Now please focus on the Premier League title, because if you bottle it,
well, I mean, in their defense, they have nothing to play for again, so they can focus their attention solely on the Premier League. Win that, it would probably, I don't think they would feel all the other exits from all the other competitions if they can win this, because I mean, since 2004, that's the last time they won the Premier League. So
let's combine West Ham and Manchester United. Dion, West Ham comfortable at the end of the day. United over 2 legs comfortable as well.
I think West Ham's pattern is one that I would say it's not particularly flamboyant, but they're focusing their attention on the continent. Their form in the league has been particularly despicable, but on the continent they just seem like a team in rich form. Jared Bowen, even though he missed out on the England call-up with the 3 Lions, he got a couple of goals in there. I mean, they won with an aggregate scoreline of 6-0. West Ham do not even have the audacity to have such a scoreline in the league. And for United, doing the business against the Spanish side, even though they've had their shortcomings against Spanish opposition on the continent, but all that has seemed to change. We do a lot of changes have come under the new coach Erik ten Hag. An aggregate scoreline of 5-1. Marcus Rashford, again, he has netted twice away over there in Spain. I mean, one against Barcelona, one at the Benito Villamarin Stadium against Real Betis last night. So it just shows you that the team have put away the 7-0 thrashing to Liverpool. They put it behind them, and they're just really progressing. They are still they're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So it just feels like good times at Manchester United.
We'll see how long the good times last. I will not say more than
still in contention for 4 trophies.
0700923923923 is the number for you to call. 0700923923923. You can send a message on WhatsApp at 08173136193. 08173136193. We're also live on Facebook at Inspiration FM 92.3. Just leave your comments under the live feed and we'll read them. And that's what Ozo Francis Namani has done. He says he's listening live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Greetings from here. Greetings to you too, all the the way from Enugu State. Charles Chidozie just says, well done, though. Anthony and Stephen have succeeded in talking Crystal Palace into sacking Vieira because they were really listening to the Premier League zone yesterday. Hope your conscience is satisfied now, as it is now. May someone somewhere not talk you both into losing your job. Daniel Joshua says Arsenal may now win the European trophy. They will go to the UCL next season to disgrace England. Wishing Chelsea all the 3 points this weekend. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you very much, Daniel Joshua. Let's go to WhatsApp. This one here is from Palumi, who says, I must admit, Stephen did a good job with Arsenal analysis yesterday. Kudos to you, Stephen. I'm not blaming anyone for the team. The team did a good job. Just don't rest your best players for important matches. But I really can't wait for help your club this afternoon. Arsenal will win this weekend. Join us. You don't know what's going on. Nandi says yesterday Stephen talked about Vieira's ambitions at Crystal Palace. Today he receives a sack letter. Please, Stephen, stay out of analysis that involves Manchester United, because you also predicted Arsenal to beat Sporting Lisbon. Now look what happened. Thank you very much.
We have a very own Herald of Doom.
Big Herald of Doom. Alright, Philip says, in my opinion, the decision to sack Patrick Vieira is hard to take, but necessary. Just as Dion has analysed, based on where they are on the table, they could easily be dragged into the relegation battle. All in all, it is Arsenal like pity. New manager bounce might just strike again this weekend, adding insult to injury for the Europa League exit yesterday. For the UCL draw, I'd take an AC Milan or Inter Milan for my darling Chelsea. Man City can also draw Bayern Munich or Napoli for all I care. For the Europa League draw, Roma won't be too bad for Manchester United. Have a wonderful weekend. You too. Alright, Phillips. Alright, let's go to all the action. Okay, let's squeeze this call because it's been ringing for a while. Then we'll go to all the action from this weekend. Hello, good morning. Hello.
I'm angry with you.
Why? What did we do now?
I've been on the line for so long.
We apologize. We just have to take the messages and stuff.
Stephen and everybody.
Good morning.
Ashimolo from Agbado now.
All right, go ahead.
Congratulations.
Our prayer has not been answered. This area, we need the management to help us.
Well, we apologize. We are working on it. And very sooner than you expect, everything will be back to normal. We apologize.
Even better than normal.
Better than before, actually. It will be better than before. Just keep the faith. We're working on it.
And we appreciate you for sticking around.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Stephen, well done. I thank you. You know, I just want to beg you. I beg, because I heard you in the morning. Please, don't do that. Just say Crystal Palace, you know, they have a new manager band. Just use that one. They will repeat that now. Please, don't go that area you are going again. And for the coach, I think I don't agree with this fact. You know why? Because in January, these guys, they saw the team, they know what they lack, and the board are not doing anything about it. And you know, all these coaches, because of the job, he's a black man. He doesn't have the luxury of the time. Look at what Lampard did at Everton. I don't understand why that man gets so locked like that. Look at how long he stayed on his job. And because of what this guy did, Vieira did last season, I'm expecting them to back him on this season to improve the team. But they didn't do that. Even in January, when they're supposed to even help him to they didn't do that again. Look at him like West Ham. Without the players, look at the position they have. You see the position he got them to before the second round of the league. You know that they have really tried for the ball. It's just left for the ball. And I'm afraid for them, they might not escape this because I don't know the type of coach they will get. Not take much time of the other callers. I apologize.
All right, thank you very much, Ashimola. It was a pleasure having you on the show. And that's my point. The man wasn't backed. The man was not backed. That's why I was asking if the squad has enough quality.
Signed some players.
We'll move on.
But what I want to say quickly is that the last time Arsenal faced a team with new manager bounce, Daichi had his first win in charge of the Toffees. So hey, if fate is anything, you guys want to go by.
Anyway, let's just go to all the action from this weekend. In the FA Cup, there's Manchester City taking on Burnley. The Sheffield United against Blackburn Rovers. Brighton and Hove Albion will take on Grimsby Town. Manchester United who host Fulham. Overall, let's look at it as a whole now, because we don't have more time to take it one by one. How do you see the big guns performing this weekend?
Well,
big guns are Man City, Brighton, and then Manchester United.
No, Manchester United are playing in the FA Cup. Okay, FA Cup inclusive. FA Cup, United should beat Fulham, hopefully, because it's happening at Old Trafford. A lot of their fixtures have happened at Old Trafford, so I think everything is working in United's favour, I think, this season. So they should be able to beat Fulham again. Man City should probably get a win against Burnley. Reunion with
the return of the
reunion of the legend. What's his name? Vincent Kompany, the captain. I mean, who had a brilliant time at the Etihad. It's going to be a tricky one, and Burnley have been impressive in the Championship.
Oh, absolutely,
that man has turned that team around.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a cracking fixture. But City, I mean, superiority in quality would obviously show. I think City will get a win.
All right. Let's go to the Premier League. Actually, matches from the Premier League. Aston Villa will take on Bournemouth. Brentford will take on Leicester City. We also have Southampton taking on Tottenham Hotspur. Wolves against Leeds United. Chelsea against Everton, and then Arsenal against Crystal Palace. That's where we're starting from. And we'll go to the man of the moment, the man, the myth, the legend, Steven Imediegu. Arsenal against Crystal Palace.
HOD.
Are we going to see a new manager bounce? Can Crystal Palace maybe shock Arsenal at the Emirates?
It's very possible. The one thing about losing is that it sets you back a little in your head, and the decision is, how do I react to this loss? Do I go all guns blazing? That would probably be Arsenal's approach this weekend. But Crystal Palace know that they now have to prove. The players are basically auditioning for the new manager to say, okay, I can play football. And that would mean that we get a feisty game. Arsenal have the opportunity to win this. I do think that they can win against Crystal Palace. So narrow scoreline 2-1
to Arsenal.
Yeah, to Arsenal.
All right, Dion. Chelsea 3 straight wins. Number 4 loading against Everton.
I think it's definitely going to be number 4 because I talked about it this morning, but not expansively. But I think Chelsea. Things are changing. If you watch the way they played, and especially the way they played against Leicester, they had opportunities where Leicester could have easily drawn level, but that resolve, that team spirit is getting back to the Blues, and I'm sure a lot of Chelsea fans will be excited. I think they should be able to get the 4th victory in all competitions against Everton. Yeah, so I would go for a Chelsea win.
All right, guys. Looking at all the games now in the FA Cup and in the Premier League, possible upsets this weekend. Very quickly, Stephen, let me start with you. Possible upsets.
I've got a weird feeling at Manchester City. The favored son just might do the business at City.
He's set up for that kind of thing, isn't it?
It is, and they will love him for it.
We shall see. All right, Dion.
I have a weird feeling about Manchester United actually against Fulham. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it's weird.
All right. Before we start taking calls and messages properly, let's go to our expert picks for the weekend. Let's start with Manchester City Burnley. In contrast with Dion and his upset with Burnley, I think City will win. But again, the odds for City to win won't be that much. So I think a goal for Julian Alvarez. I expect a change in this one. Erling Haaland just scored 4 goals, but I expect him to be rested. Julian Alvarez could play in the cup, so a goal. Julian Alvarez, anytime goal scorer, could do you some good in this one. For Southampton against Spurs, I think under 2.5 goals. Spurs don't score away from home. They've not scored on the road in their last 3 matches. Of course, we know Southampton's problems with the attackers. Paulo has joined, has not scored. Kamaldeen Sulemana has not scored. They rely on set pieces from James Ward-Prowse, and that could be a problem. So under 2.5 goals could be your best bet there. But if you want to combine it, Spurs win under 2.5 goals. So 1-0, 2-0 could be your best bet here for Southampton against Spurs. For Chelsea against Everton, a straight home win. I think Chelsea are growing in confidence and they should get the win against Everton. For Brentford against Leicester City, I think goals are your best option here. Both teams are not good defensively. Both teams score lots of goals as well. So over 2.5, over 3.5, both teams to score. Whatever it is, tickles your fancy. You could go with this one here. So anyhow you want to mix and match the goals, you can do that here. And then for Aston Villa against Bournemouth, I think a home win for Aston Villa will serve you well here as well. Aston Villa have been playing well at the moment. Bournemouth, yes, they beat Liverpool last weekend, but they're struggling away from home as well. Aston Villa are playing with plenty of confidence, so Aston Villa to win at home against Bournemouth. Just a quick recap. Man City against Burnley, either you go for a home win or you go for Julian Alvarez anytime goal scorer. For Southampton against Spurs, under 2.5 goals, but you can combine and say Spurs to win under 2.5 goals in that one. For Chelsea against Everton, straight home win for Chelsea, feeling very confident these days. For Brentford against Leicester City, any kind of goal combination you want, that's what you should go for. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals, over 3.5 goals, whatever tickles your fancy, you'll be good there. And for Aston Villa against Bournemouth, home win, that's your best bet in that one. And for the banker of the weekend, I think Chelsea to win at home against Everton is your banker for the weekend. They're playing very confidently and I expect them to be too strong for Everton. So those are our expert picks for the weekend. Let's open up the phone lines properly now so you guys can join us. 0700.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment and like. Thank you.